91st Recruit Class, Huskies, hut! Forward, march!
Major Ben, colors of the United States Marine, our President, sir.
Carry on.
Color guard. Present. Go. Right. Think. Forward.
Would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Ronald Richards?
O Lord our God, we pray for these dynamic young people an extra portion of dedication to the difficult and yet satisfying task before them. We pray for an extra portion of integrity and honesty to rule within their lives. Help them to guide and to protect. Help them to seek and act out justice for all. And most of all, O Lord, to know that inner peace that passes all understanding. For this we ask in your precious name. Amen.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you to the graduation exercises for the 91st Recruit Class. I am Major John Bent, the Director of Training for the Indianapolis Police Department. It's always nice to see a crowd like this at a graduation. Although I do know this afternoon we do have some special event going on also. As we get started today, I'd like to make some introductions of some dignitaries that are in the audience. Representing the Civilian Police Merit Board, Mr. Michael Morkin. From the Indianapolis Police Department, Major Chris Dalkey, Major Mike Bosley, Major Ricky Benton, Major Greg Bebrick. I certainly hope I haven't missed anyone. On January the 1st of 2000, the city began a new era with a new administration dedicated to the improvement of public safety for all citizens of Indianapolis. Our new mayor has expressed his commitment to the expansion of the community policing effort for all districts of the department. He has made the reduction of violent and gun-related crime the main focus of effort for our officers. He has stated his commitment to expanding the enforcement resources directed at juvenile crime and he has directed the department to expand the investigative effort to prevent the expansion of narcotic trafficking within our city. And most importantly, he has promised to provide the number of officers necessary to fulfill the goals he has outlined. It is with great honor that I introduce the Mayor of the City of Indianapolis, Mr. Bart Peterson.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much, Major, and thanks also to our Public Safety Director, our Police Chief, our County Prosecutor, County Sheriff, to the newly appointed Assistant Chiefs and soon-to-be-announced Deputy Chiefs. Thank you all for being here. And most of all, congratulations to the new officers who comprise the 91st recruit class of the Indianapolis Police Department. Former recruit class, I guess we can now call them. I've not made any secret of the fact that public safety is my number one priority as mayor. Indeed, I think it should be the number one priority of any local government anywhere. It is simply the most important responsibility of those of us at the local level to make sure that our people are not only safe, but that they feel safe. Now, public safety is an abstract concept to many people. But for the men and women standing here to my left, public safety brings the human face to the concept of public safety. Public safety in this city is carried out by human beings, not by budgets, not by offices, but it is carried out by human beings. And the most important human beings in the public safety chain are the men and women of the Indianapolis Police Department. And so I welcome you to that important role that you will be playing over the coming years of what will hopefully be a long and fruitful career for all of you. In my opinion, the greatest enemy of human progress is not bad people. Bad people, particularly those that are easy to identify, allow us to rally around, and the good people of the world come together and fight against them. No, it's not bad people that are the greatest enemy of human progress. In my opinion, it is cynicism. And it is very easy to become cynical in the world of public safety because of the negative things so often that you see every day. It seems like it's a thankless job at times. It seems often to those of us on the outside to be a virtually impossible job at times. But I would only suggest to all of you the words that I have heard Chief Barker utter on many occasions, and that is, remember that this job isn't about fighting bad guys. It's about serving the good people of our community. And the vast majority of the people in our community are good people. And if we can remember that, all of us who serve, and focus not on the bad elements that we fight against, but the good people who we are trying to protect and to serve, then we can fight off that corrosive influence of cynicism that has the ability to affect anybody in public service, and particularly those in the area of public safety. As for this being a thankless job, I want you to know that I thank you, and I want you to know in my travels over this community, which have been extensive for the last 2.5 years, I know how much our community appreciates the work that you have been and will be doing, and the work that all of the men and women of our police department are doing. And let me conclude by saying that while those of you in uniform and those of you who serve in the department in suit and tie or other outfit, while those of you are the ones who we often reach out to and say, we appreciate your dedication, I want to say a special word of thanks today to those in the audience, to the families of these men and women up here to my left, because you have shared with us the most precious gift you can share with our community. You've shared with us the time and the dedication and the energy of your loved ones who are serving on our police department. Thank you all very much. And to everybody in the room today, thanks for what you've given up and for what you're doing for our community. God bless you all.
Thank you, Mayor. Law enforcement is a business with budgets, personnel and equipment issues, training requirements, and every other need that a major corporation with 1,500 employees would have. The Director of Public Safety not only oversees the law enforcement business of our city, but our fire services, animal control, and justice agencies as well. Our new Director of Public Safety brings with him a wealth of experience and talent to meet the challenges of this position. He is a 27-year veteran of the Indianapolis Police Department and a practicing attorney. He has served as the Deputy Chief of Investigations, Director of Training, Commander of Traffic, and in many other positions during his career that give him insight to meet his new challenges. I would like to introduce our Director of Public Safety, Mr. Robert Turner.
Thank you, Major. Good afternoon to all of you. And congratulations to the new class. Congratulations to the Chief's executive staff. For those of you that are unfamiliar with Indianapolis, we have an outstanding police department. We have an outstanding fire department. We have an outstanding law enforcement team working with the Marion County Prosecutor and Marion County Sheriff, who are both here today. Indianapolis is a very safe city. It's one of the safest big cities in America, and that's because we've tried very hard to keep it that way. And this class and the new staff and new executive staff are going to have new challenges today. As Major Ben said, I'm a 27-year veteran of the police department, but when I joined the police department, it was very different than it is today. 27 years ago, I thought I could recognize crime and criminals as an experienced observer. But today we find that the criminal may be a second grader who brings a gun to school. And the victim may be a second grader in that same classroom. The victim may be a young man by the name of Lance Turner, who was killed in Indianapolis in a car accident recently. Or a child left in a snowbank next to a hospital. These kind of crimes we investigate today. And not only that, but we find that crimes now are committed in the home without ever leaving home. You can have $1 million crime occur by computer. And the police officers of today have to be prepared to investigate and bring those crimes to resolution. So you have a very heavy challenge as a new recruit class graduating from the police academy. I know that you've been prepared for that challenge. In America today, unfortunately, although violent crime is dropping, any crime of violence is one too many. I pulled some statistics up as I read about violent crimes in America and find that we have 500 children that are killed each year with handguns. We have about 1,500 children commit suicide with handguns, and nearly 7,000 violent crimes are committed by young people who obtain the guns in their own homes. Now, the police department can deal with investigation of crimes, but who has the responsibility to deal with young children obtaining guns in homes? And it has to be all of us. It has to be the family. The police department cannot do all this alone. The schools cannot do it alone. Government and money cannot do it alone. It has to be and must be a community effort. And I think that's why we chose Jerry Barker as the chief of police. He's a very experienced person in community policing, working with the community to resolve problems. So as you observe problems developing in your neighborhood, whether it's a crack house or a loud dog barking, keep in mind that you have to share that responsibility with us, just as you share your relatives with us today as they join this department. So good luck to all the new recruits, good luck to the new staff, and may I say to the family that you certainly will be supporting them. You must support them a lot more than you ever did before. I've been in this position only a few months, and I don't think I've ever been home. Maybe once, but I don't get home. So you're going to have to be more tolerant of them and keep in mind some of the things they have to deal with as police officers. One of the toughest jobs that you could ever imagine, and certainly as Director of Public Safety, I recognize that now like I never did before. So thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you, Director. Respect, accountability, and ethics are the cornerstones of a successful police department. While results are important, in public service, the manner in which you obtain the results can be even more important. Our Chief of Police has demonstrated throughout his 30-year career with the Indianapolis Police Department the ability to earn the respect and the commitment of the officers of the department and the community we serve. He has been a leader of community policing partnerships that have gained national recognition. He developed so much support from the citizens of the West District, where he was deputy chief, that the mayor had to reassure the community groups out there that his efforts would continue with his appointment to chief. So I would like to introduce our Chief of Police, Jerry Barker.
Good morning. Mayor Bart Peterson, our partners as law enforcement, Prosecutor Scott Newman, Sheriff Jack Cotty, Director of Public Safety Robert Turner, members of the Council or Public Safety and Merit Boards that are here today, my brothers and sisters in law enforcement, the 91st recruit class who are sworn regular officers now, not recruits any longer, and all the families, friends, and loved ones assembled today, welcome to the 91st recruit class graduation ceremony. Our Creator has certainly given us a beautiful day in which to have this ceremony. I thought this was a pretty neat situation in that it's the first major event of the new millennium. We have a brand new mayor, have a brand new chief of police and some new administrative staff, a brand new group of police officers who are going to carry forth with our fine and excellent traditions. And I thought it would be very fitting that if I could perhaps introduce some of the current leadership to our new leadership of tomorrow that sits over here on the left. What a fine looking group of people. Let's give them a hand. So I'm going to introduce my executive staff. I would like you to remain standing, please, after I introduce you. My two assistant chiefs of police, Michael Spears and James Wyatt. My reappointed deputy chiefs who have been serving as deputy chief, but a few minor adjustments. Bill Reardon, who has served on the North District and will continue to stay on the North District. Deputy Chief Tim Martin from the South District, where he will continue to serve. James Campbell, the downtown deputy chief, where he will continue to serve. Tim Foley, who until recently was the East District deputy chief, who will now be the deputy chief of the investigations. And he brings many qualities to that. He's been that before, incidentally. And then the three new officers who have reached this rank of deputy chief. I would like to introduce them and ask them to come forward, please, so I can present them with their new badges. Darrell Pierce, who will become the East District deputy chief. Tim Horty, who will become the West District deputy chief. And James Reno, who will become our administration's deputy chief. Would you gentlemen come down and get your badges? I can't help but think, as I look over at these sharp-looking officers, how I felt 31 years ago almost when I was in their shoes. Maybe they don't think they were shiny back then when I came on. They didn't have them Core Fam shoes. but I remember how excited I was and how much I look forward to serving the community and putting the bad guys in jail. And you know, we've certainly come a long way in the last 31 years. I can remember when we had call boxes on telephone poles on the corner. I remember when police women in radio cars was absolutely unheard of. I can remember when our black officers only patrolled black neighborhoods. I can remember when our radios were attached firmly to the console of our police cars, and we didn't have these radios on our shoulder, and you had to park your car down the street and go up and handle something all by yourself. Didn't have any radio to lean back on, fall back on. Those are some pretty exciting days. We've come an awful long ways since then, and it's been a privilege to be a part of that growth and see the changes. We still have much left to accomplish. We still need more diversity, especially in a community that is growing with our Hispanic population every day. And I look to see these new officers have a part in seeing those changes take place. It will be a terrific opportunity ahead for us. We have much left to do, but what an exciting time it's been. You know, I echo some of the things that the mayor has said about what it's really all about as far as policing in today's 21st century. I remember back in the old days when I was almost as if it was an us and them mentality, we the police and they the public, and we didn't seem to interact very well. The early part of my career, just thinking about one thing, putting bad guys in jail. And I have to say that I didn't start getting a little smarter until about 6 years ago, and I just completely did a turnaround in how I thought about what police-community relations were all about. And if there was one thing I could give these officers today, it would be some crash course on how to relate to that community, because as the mayor said, the vast majority of them are kind, decent, law-abiding, hard-working citizens. And we must never forget that we serve them every day as public servants. I'm not going to say that I was ornery when I was younger, before I was a police officer, but I did have an occasion to come into contact with the police on 3 occasions. One time I got a traffic ticket by the state police, and the other time I had an occasion to interact with the Speedway Police Department and the Indianapolis Police Department. Let's just say I was not breaking any laws, but I was somewhere where I shouldn't be. But I remember just like yesterday, just like today, I can remember in my heart and my mind clearly how I was treated by those officers in each of those 3 situations. And those memories have never left me. So what good does it do if a community member has had a good relationship with the police and feels good about the police if they have one bad run-in with a police officer, because that will forever stay in their mind and that will forever be how they look and relate to the police department. So please, young men and women in blue, remember that your first commitment is to the citizens, the good people, the vast majority of our citizens, many times the victims, the people that never say anything, that never raise a ruckus, the ones that support you quietly every day of your careers. Yes, it is truly an exciting time to be a police officer, especially in Indianapolis. I think this police department is the best anywhere in this world. I want to take a moment to say something to the families, as the mayor did as well. You know, as a profession, we've never been all that kind to ourselves. And today we have done many things to try and do better for ourselves. We have an excellent chaplaincy staff. We have an excellent police officer support team. But the true help comes from you, the families. You are the ones who will have to meet these officers when they come home after a bad day, because it's not like a bad day at the office when these people come home. It's a bad day of dealing with the dark side of humanity and seeing young victims and the terrible things that happen. So I applaud you for standing by your men and women. It is so important that you give them the love and support that they deserve and need every day. I ask you, the new class, as you go forth in your careers, please remember the fine traditions, the fine professionalism that we, the Indianapolis Police Department, represent. Everything from the uniformed officers to this fine training academy who has done such a good job of training you. Keep those traditions in your hearts and minds. Keep our fine and high reputation for those who will follow in your footsteps. And I truly look forward to working with you and realizing that someday perhaps one of you will have the honor of standing where I'm standing today. I'm proud of each and every one of you, Thank you for choosing the Indianapolis Police Department to be your lifelong vocation.
Thank you, Chief. Law enforcement must have the support of each level of the criminal justice system so that the citizens of Indianapolis obtain the results they expect in ensuring public safety. The police, the courts, and the prosecutor must form a partnership that ensures that those who cannot or will not follow the rules of society have to answer to the community. Our prosecutor has been instrumental in developing programs that allow community groups and individual citizens the opportunity to have a voice in how our system operates. He has developed a very successful community prosecutor program to support the community policing initiatives of all the police departments in Marion County. Please welcome the Marion County Prosecutor, Mr. Scott Newman.
Thank you very much. Well, we've got a new millennium, a new mayor, a new chief, new assistant chief, several new deputy chiefs, but sorry to say we've got the same old prosecutor who is very, very glad to be with you today. In fact, this is one of my very favorite things to do as prosecutor is to attend recruit class graduations. It's a real inspiration to me, and I want to applaud our new mayor for his choices that he's made, including Chief Barker, who is someone that I have known and had the privilege to work with for years on the west side of Indianapolis. He's going to do a terrific job, and I applaud those appointments, and I look forward to working with that group of people. Anybody who watches Law and Order knows that from time to time there are disagreements between prosecutors and police officers. I hope, members of the 91st recruit class, that you always, in those instances where we have disagreements, feel that those come from a standpoint of a true law enforcement partner, people that respect you, what you do, the sacrifices you make, your judgments, your time, and your experience. Police officers are such special people, and I enjoy them a lot. And I think what makes them most special is that they are not people that fall into their careers or that settle for those careers. They tend to be men and women who have dreamed of becoming police officers and are in a job that allows them to do what they've dreamed of doing. And that makes them very special, very caring people. So for these people in the 91st class, it's a very exciting time, and I imagine one of some trepidation for them and their families. They're getting what they've wanted for a long time, and now they're saying to themselves, now what fully can we expect of this? Well, I think there's a few things that you can be sure of. First of all, there will be days that you'll feel unappreciated. And that's simply because the overwhelming majority of people in our community who fully support you, you won't see every day. Very often you won't see those people at all, but they're there. Second, sometimes you'll see the worst side of human nature. I think of the story that the homicide detective told me once of showing up at a crime scene where a mother had been murdered, and the children were swirling around him, grabbing onto his pants legs as he arrived at the scene. You'll see things, terrible things like that, and faced with those things, you'll have a choice, a very simple choice. Do you become hardened with contempt for your fellow man, or do you take those as lessons and opportunities to draw your own loved ones, your own families closer to you and appreciate them all the more when you get home? And finally, you may have a day now and then where you'll be sorry that you dreamed to become a police officer, and you'll ask yourself maybe why you had done that. That'll be short-lived, and those will be fleeting moments. Just never forget that you are living out your dream, and never forget that you have a job that allows you to be a true hero every single day. So to the 91st recruit class, and especially to their families who have sacrificed so much to get them to this point, I salute you and I give you my profound thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Newman. As I said earlier, partnerships are extremely important in law enforcement, and there's been no agency that has been a bigger partner to what we do in Marion County than the Marion County Sheriff's Department. We're honored to have with us today the Marion County Sheriff, Mr. Jack Cotty, a longtime veteran of the Indianapolis Police Department and certainly a longtime veteran of the Marion County Sheriff's Department. Sheriff Cotty.
Thank you, John. I'm sorry I'm not in the program, but I want to share something with you that I returned on a red-eye flight yesterday morning from San Diego, and thank God I went into my office and saw a note that Chief Barker had invited me here today, and so I appreciate it, because if I hadn't went in, I wouldn't have known about it. Mayor, I also want to echo, and I mean that, the appointments you made of, I was going to say Chief Turner, but Director of Public Safety Turner and Jerry Barker, and Jim Wyatt and Mike Spears. I personally go back a long way with them, and to echo what Chief Barker stated, and looking over here, I can still remember February the 15th, 1965, when I was sworn into the Indianapolis Police Department, and I can remember May of 1965 when I graduated, just like you are. It's a great career, it's a great city, and the people you deal with are great people. And I would like to echo what the Mayor and the Director of Public Safety and the Chief stated. People in this community support law enforcement, and they're good people. You never hear about the good things you do because so many good things happen every day. So one thing I would ask each recruit as you leave here, remember and treat people like you'd want your family treated, your loved ones treated, and deal in that manner. And I can assure everyone on this Indianapolis Police Department that there continued, and the Mayor, I want to assure you, there will be a continuation of total support between the Marion County Sheriff's Department and the Indianapolis Police Department. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sheriff. Representing the 91st recruit class is Officer James R. Gibson.
As if I'm not nervous enough, they put all the sergeants up here to stare at me, so. Good afternoon. I'd like to start out by thanking everyone for being here. I speak for the entire 91st recruit class when I say that it is appreciated that you've taken time out of your busy schedules to be here to help us celebrate this proud occasion. Having two small children myself, I understand just how important a mere 15 minutes out of your day can be. I would also like to thank our new mayor, Bart Peterson, our Chief of Police, Jerry Barker, the Director of Public Safety, Robert Turner, and Mayor Peterson, you've said it so many times you almost had me say Chief Turner, and each one of the deputy chiefs in the entire Indianapolis Police Department, Academy, and the training staff. In a short time that I have, I'm going to give everyone present, especially the members of the 91st recruit class, a small challenge. That challenge will be to start your day out every morning with a goal. In just a moment, I'll tell you what that goal is. Hopefully this idea will motivate you just a little bit when needed. This goal has been a mainstay in my daily routine and an inspiration to me in all that I've done. Throughout our training, police officers are taught that surviving is the most important thing. The mere word survive is used as often as possible during all aspects of training. I think that we can all agree that surviving is paramount. However, I personally believe that this idea of surviving is very incomplete. It only describes one small aspect of a police officer's day and life in general. I think we can all survive if we just stay at home with the doors locked, shielded from society and the dangers that one might encounter due to crime or just by driving to work. But as police officers, we have taken an oath to serve and protect the community with the training and knowledge imparted on us by the Academy, our FTOs, and fellow officers alike. Each one of us has accepted a great deal of responsibility, with the understanding that at some point in time, we will be forced to take actions that will have a profound impact upon the lives and well-being of many people. I ask that we replace the word survive with a much easier word with fewer letters and one less syllable. That word is win. Begin your day with an attitude of winning and not just surviving. By winning, each one of us benefits. We make progress by winning, and we accomplish all that we attempt. Whether it's a somewhat insignificant task of helping a stranded motorist push their car out of the street, or a more important task, such as resolving a violent domestic. In each situation, the outcome is just as important to each person involved. The determination that you show, the professional manner in which you finish each task will reflect great credit upon yourself, your police department, and your city. I ask that every morning when you get out of bed, at least once you tell yourself, I will win. I will successfully accomplish all that I attempt. I will overcome all obstacles no matter what the odds. And by using this attitude, I will survive. To all that are left of the 91st Recruit Class, whether you knew it or not, you used this goal. The mere fact that you're here today shows that you set out to win, and you did just that. Continue what you started, and each and every one of us will benefit as police officers, friends, neighbors, and human beings in all that we do. To our new administration, our new mayor, we pledge to do our best and work together as a team and earn the respect of our peers and public we serve. We will look at each day as a new chance to build upon and improve our working relationship with the community. Not only will we do our best to complete the task at hand, we will go that extra mile to assure that our accomplishments are something that we can all be proud of. Once again, I thank everybody.
Mayor Peterson, would you come forward and administer the oath of office, please?
Major, my tenure has been short, but this is perhaps my greatest privilege. If you would all please rise, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Indiana.
And the Constitution of the State of Indiana.
And that I will discharge my duties.
And that I will discharge my duties.
Regardless of the race, creed, color.
Regardless of the race, creed, color.
Religion, sex, or national origin.
Religion, sex, or national origin.
Of the persons I serve.
Of the persons I serve.
And that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties.
And that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties.
As a police officer of the City of Indianapolis.
As a police officer of the City of Indianapolis.
Under this appointment.
Under this appointment.
According to law and the city ordinances.
According to law and the city ordinances.
To the best of my ability, so help me God.
To the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations.
All right, if the chief, the director, and the mayor would step forward, we'll have the presentation of certificates. Michael A. Agresta, Jr. If anyone in the families would like to come forward for pictures, please feel free. Not a problem. Adrian S. Ars. Christopher L. Bailey. Jeffrey W. Barberari. John R. Beagle. Scott D. Bishop. Shane M. Decker. Tanya B. Eastwood. Anthony J. Farrell. David L. Guard. James R. Gibson. Andrew C. Hannaford. Bradley S. Harris. David F. Henshaw. Matthew F. Jennings. Jeffrey E. Kelly. Robert E. Love. Amanda D. McKelvey. Dennis W. Nottingham. Tiffany D. O'Neill. Michael F. Rieger. Gregory M. Rosino. Aaron M. Schlesinger. Anthony J. Schneider. Todd B. Scroggins. Corey A. Schaefer. Matthew B. Shores. Eric B. Simmons. Andre L. Smith. Paul M. Spall. Matthew Stevenson. Aaron L. Sullivan. Andrew K. Tritipo. Rebecca J. Uberta. Christopher E. Williams. Franklin D. Wooden. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your 91st recruit class, Indianapolis Police Department. At that time, we get the opportunity to have a little bit more fun. We, as a staff and as a community, wish to present some awards to some of the outstanding officers in this recruit class. We have 5 separate categories, and the first awards that we're going to do tonight is our Firearms Award, be presented by Lieutenant Joe Meyer of the Training Academy Firearms Staff. This award was determined by the shooting ability and, more importantly, the judgment demonstrated during the scenarios as scored by the firearms staff. The winner of this award tonight is James R. Gibson. The next award is the Physical Training Award. The presenter is Deborah Robertson. The recipient of this award was selected by the staff based on the leadership, motivation, effort, and total fitness scores. This award is awarded to Christopher E. Williams. The Police and Firefighters Association, and our presenter today is Steve